Hey everyone, Oriana here again. The second video in the Basic Belly Dance Beginners series that I had a lot of requests for. The first one covered hip bumps, the basic posture, as well as an introduction to shimmies. This one is going to focus on chest movements and proper alignment of the upper body. So let's go ahead and get started. Put some music on. Okay. So just like in the first video, posture is important. You're going to go ahead and sink down into your basic belly dance positioning. Let me tilt this back a little. Sorry. Legs are at a 45, the pelvis is neutral. The shoulders are going to be back and down. And by that I mean that you want to rotate the shoulders back behind the ear. So if you find that it's parallel to the ear or that you're hunching forward, that's not correct. In fact, you'll probably hurt yourself. So rotate it all the way back like you're hunching your shoulders so that it is behind the ear, in line with your back of your neck. You don't want to pop the chest out too much. This is overextending. You will not be able to do the moves. You should be comfortable, you should be neutral, but the shoulders are back and down behind the head. Okay? First move we're going to do is going to be on the up. So you're going to lift the rib cage up towards the chin. Up to the chin. From the side. Now what's important to note about this, I'm not popping the chest out. There's a very distinct difference in this kind of move where if you watch my hand, my rib cage is going along that horizontal plane. This is actually lifting by pulling down the middle of the back. This is a muscle region known as the rhomboids, and this is not used very often, so this might feel very strange to you. Lift the shoulders back. Lift. Lift. It should feel like you're taking a very deep breath of air, but I don't want you to rely on that, because what will happen is that you'll be reliant on breathing for this, and if you ever get into professional dancing or you're going to go to do a full song, it's not going to work out so well because it will disrupt your breathing pattern in order to do the move. From a 3/4 view, I like to have my students hold their hand right here. This is the neutral level for your individual chest, and I say individual chest because everyone is different, and that's okay. You're going to lift up over your hand. Shoulders are back and down, knees are still bent, pelvis is neutral. With the shoulders back and down, it's hard to hunch over. But what I do see a lot of people do is start leaning back to do this. You don't want that. There are some Turkish variations on that, but to begin with, make sure that you're in the neutral position where your back is against that imaginary wall. If you get into other regional variations where they are leaning back, that's one thing, but I don't want you to begin with that. It's also harder, so don't begin with the harder one. Five, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. Okay. We're going to do a slight variation on that known as a V. You're going to lift the chest up to the upper right corner, come back to neutral and center, lift to the upper left corner, come back to neutral and center. So your chest will draw a V. This is a little bit harder than it looks because you're utilizing some muscles in through here and especially in the upper back that we don't use a lot, especially if you're like me and you sit at a desk all day. at a computer, this really becomes atrophied here in the back. So if at any time you feel awkward, or you get lost, or you just want to take a break, stretch out, and then come back to it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, center, left, center. Up, in, up, in. You can either keep your hands on your hips to begin with, so that you're really isolating the chest. If you feel comfortable, you've done this before, you can release the hands into the modified second position. I hear most dancers call this Isis in belly dance because it's like wings. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can put the hands behind the head and lift the hair. Make sure the pelvis is stabilized. This isn't a hip move. This is strictly the chest. Unlike ballet, that tends to split you in half so that one half is doing a move and the other half is or is not, belly dance will isolate you horizontally by body sections. You'll feel this in the upper abs right here. You'll mostly feel it in between your shoulder blades in the back. 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to standard chest lifts. From the side, they look like this. You can see where the chest is just going out and back, up and up. Lift, 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 lift. This is the same direction that we were doing the hip bumps in, so think up, 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 up. 5, 6, 7, 8, relax. Stretch out the arms. Stretch the arms over the chest. And fold forward in case you released your back. Stretch out the lower back and the upper back here. Okay. Now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to go on the down, which is a little counterintuitive for most people because we tend to think of our neutral position as down. It's actually not. You can go lower than this, but it becomes more of an upper ab crunch, where you're crunching the rib cage into the upper stomach. What you do not want to do is fold the shoulders in. You don't want to do that. So I want you, especially if you're a woman and you're doing this, you're thinking of the edge where your bra stops right here, where you feel the underwire. If you're a man, you're going to think of your upper abs right here, slightly below where your nipples lie. Is the easiest way I can explain that. Okay. Put your hands here at neutral, which I said is different for everyone. And then collapse the rib cage into the top of the stomach. Top of the stomach. From the side real quick. Top of the stomach. So notice that I'm not caving or rounding the back either. I'm just pushing it into myself is the best way I can describe that. Lack of a better term. If I think of one, I'll tell you. In, 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 in. And I'm just coming to neutral here. I'm not lifting and coming in. It's just to the starting position. Good. Don't roll the shoulders in. Don't roll the back. In. 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 And in. Relax. Just like we did the V, we're going to do an A. You'll start in the center, neutral. You'll go down into the side. I like to think of the side of my hip, like I'm aiming my chest to my hip. Come back to center. Aim your chest to the other side of your hip so that you're forming an A. Okay. Going slowly, assume the position. Pelvis is still neutral. Shoulders are back and down. From the neutral position, you're going to angle this into the side of your oblique area. Come back to neutral. Angle it to the oblique area. Neutral, down, neutral, down. Down, lift, down, lift. Side and down, middle, up, side and down, middle, up. Side, middle, side, middle. If it's too hard to keep the hands up, keep them on your hips. That'll help you keep your hips still too. You don't want the hips to go with this or start moving. This is chest only, as hard as that is. I know. You could even think of 3 points on your body, like the floor, your neck, the floor, or the top of a star. Good. 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. Stretch out. Fold forward again just in case you released your back. Okay. Just a word of advice. Like I keep saying, everyone's chest is completely differently and everyone's comfort level with that is completely different. Just because it looks one way on me, it could look differently on you. It does not mean you're doing it wrong. As long as you have the move down correctly, it's correct. Everyone will look different, but remember, dance is for everybody, so don't get too hung up on that if you see yourself in the mirror. Okay? We're going to start with the standard lift. We'll do V's, down, A's. 5, 6, 7, 8. Lift, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Corner, center, corner, center, corner, center, corner, center, corner, center. Down, 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 down. 6, 7, 8. Lift, down, lift, down, lift, down, lift, down. I'm going somewhat fast on these because these are small moves. I'm not making really large movements with my chest. It just looks like they are because A, I'm large in the chest, and B, I'm isolating a specific muscle group and that's the only thing moving. So it looks bigger than it is. From the top, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lift, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and V's. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lift, down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and breathe. Good. These are not easy chest moves for my hardest part too. Make sure that you stretch when you practice. Go ahead and round the back just to stretch it. Interlock the hands. And press your upper back towards the ceiling. Come up, open the chest. Good. One last chest move that we'll continue in the next video. We're going to do a circle all the way around. Well, actually the music stopped, sorry. Okay. This is all off the cuff, folks. Don't script any of this. Lift the chest. Come to the left side. The down movement. Come to the right side. Lift the chest. So this is a combination of the A and the V, kind of like a diamond. Lift, left, down, right, lift, left, down, right. Up, side, down, side. Up, side, down, side. Up, side, down, side. Up, side, down, side. Five, 6, 7, 8. Smooth it out. Up, side, down, side. Up, side, down, side. From the side it looks like this. My rib cage isn't going very far back. I'm still up against my imaginary wall. I'm not overexerting the chest. Don't do that. That becomes a different move. Up, side, down, side. Up, side, down, side. Up, side, down, side. Up, side, down, side. Let the stomach be relaxed. Five, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Excellent. Go ahead and stretch out, cool down. That's it for this week. Stay tuned for new videos next week. We'll keep exploring chest moves, and we'll also explore more hip moves. We're going to kind of go in between the two so that you get some variation because you're working different muscle groups. Thank you so much. See you next week. If you have any questions, feel free to Facebook me, message, email, and find me on Facebook. Find me on my website, www.orianabellydancer.com. Thanks.